The second phase, and remember this is often a different team, so someone's done the incursion, so you're either masterminding this, you buy an incursion, or someone will go into freelance, create an incursion, and then sell it on in the open market. You know, I have so many machines installed in this organisation, what do you bid? There's some very strange auctions going on eBay. They may look like a car, they may look like a property let, they are actually these. The discovery phase. Someone's going to go out and look for the sensitive information. They're going to start to map the organisation. They're going to look for large file shares that people have used to accidentally dump sensitive information on. They're looking for what we call data spillage. We see this all the time. I go to a customer, I say, you know, where is your sensitive confidential data? Well, it's in that Oracle database over there. We've got a secure SharePoint site over there. We've got a drawings management system here. That's where it all lives. No. Because what we usually find is that nice secure Oracle database, someone at some point span up a test server. That test server is not production hardened, and it was never taken away. So actually, there is a copy. It may not be up to date. It may not be today's live, but it may have been a month, 2 months old, and that is unprotected data. We see this is data spillage. We see other forms of it. Very common is large public file shares, which were used as an emergency saving place for something that was very important. That's where that goes. We see other things. Marketing people are great at doing this. Marketing people will go into your confidential data to try and do clever analysis. They'll create databases without thinking about their use of PII, etc. And they'll end up with a nice big spreadsheet that they share around, which has PII. Capture. The capture team, so their job is, now that we've got the map of where all the sensitive information is, the capture team's job is to get it out. Now there are some very clever people who work in capture, because remember what I said, everything's gone silent now. We didn't see anything, there were no machines crashing, this has been done very carefully. With some of the capture pieces, we see people writing code, systems that will sit silently on large production systems for months at a time, looking for something specific and filtering it off. It may be, Heartland, one of the largest breaches so far, siphoning off high-value credit card transactions, putting them into something which looked like a log file, and then and how they're getting there is these systems are not being secured and managed properly. The last phase, exfiltration, getting it out. There's a lot of arguments in the community over whether we should use the word exfiltration. It's a little bit too militaristic, but it does describe. It's the act of how we get things out. Here, this is easy. This is zip it up, find an open port on the firewall, and squirt it through. That's the most common way up. And most people won't know it happened. It happened very, very quickly. It may have happened over time. You need a lot of good instrumentation, a lot of good correlation to find an exfiltration point. So, how do we find this is happening? What's causing the data breach? Well, the first thing is poorly enforced IT policies. Most organisations are very bad at producing policies, getting those policies out to their employees, getting them signed off, getting people to say, I've read this, I understand it, or I don't understand it, or part of my role means that this policy cannot apply, therefore you need to create and document an exception for me. When you create, document an exception, make it secure, fix my problem. Poorly protected information. As I mentioned, we see a lot of data spillage. We see a lot of data in the wrong place. We see data being misused. It happens all the time. We need to protect information. We need to move our view of the world. We've spent a lot of time in our industry protecting perimeters. A common thing we describe is we're a little bit like a sweet. We're nice and hard on the outside and soft and squidgy on the inside. Once you get into an organisation, data is often not adequately protected. We need to go and find it, we need to put it into secure silos, and we need to clean it up. Poorly managed systems. We need to make sure our systems are patched. We need to make sure that our systems go through the right life cycle. We've worked on many breaches where part of the breach was a server that was racked up, had power provided to it, had a public IP or IPs associated with it, had internal private IPs associated with it, had probably been a, one I'm thinking of absolutely, was a domino service. The company had migrated and were now using Exchange, but they had left racked up their old production mail service. They were left racked up, they were powered, they had IP, nobody was maintaining them, nobody owned them anymore. Well, the bad guys owned them, because they were able to get into a completely unpatched machine. They used the vulnerabilities, and they basically had a nice rack-mounted set of servers in a rack inside the organisation that were theirs. Yeah? That machine, when it finished its life cycle, someone should have come along, taken the power out, taken the IP out, taken it out, gone to one of the other vendors here who might shred the machine for you. That's what should happen. We should manage our assets much better. And the last piece is the basics. It's protecting your infrastructure. It's making sure that you have very good anti-malware on the desktop. Colleagues over here on the infrastructure, they'll talk about that. And these are the four pieces that we need. We need to have the policies, protect the information, we need to manage our systems, and we need to take care of the basics. We need to keep the spam out, we need to control the malware. And as I said, we have my colleagues here manning pods. We have 4 pods. Please do, when you finish playing the game, please do spend some time with them here. We'll talk through some of the solutions we have. Control Compliance Suite, which is being demonstrated on this side of this pod here on the Develop and Enforce IT Policies. Control Compliance Suite provides everything we need to create policies, roll them out, measure them, check the standards, and report them back. Check the information, data loss prevention, the technology that we bought from Vontu. We'll show you how we go and find information, we protect it. Managing systems efficiently, which is the other side of that pod there. Our Serious IT Management Suite that provides full life cycle from buying and provisioning technology all the way through to final disposal. And finally, on the other side of that suite, our Semantic Protection Suite, where we'll show you our holistic approach to protecting the endpoint and the gateway. So, thank you for your time. Please do visit the pods.